Hello everyone and welcome to another video. This time we're going to be looking at Nelson Football Club, which is an English football club based in Nelson, Lancashire, funnily enough. Originally established in 1882, the club played in the Lancashire League, North East Lancashire Combination, and Central League, did you get all of that, before becoming founding members of the FA League 3rd Division North in 1921. They were 3rd Division North champions in 1923 and were promoted to the 2nd Division. However, they were relegated back to the 3rd Division North after a single season. In 1931, the club lost their Football League status and returned to the Lancashire Combination, where, following the summer reformation of 1934, they played on until ceasing all activity in 1936. A new amateur club at Nelson Town was assembled, playing at Seed Hill until the outbreak of World War II in September 1939. Following the resumption of football at the end of the war, Nelson FC formed again in 1946. The reconstituted club joined the Lancashire Combination, then played until it merged with the Chester County League to form the North West Countries League in 1982. By God, they've been everywhere, haven't they? Nelson dropped out of the league for the seasons between 1988 and 1992, playing in the West Lancashire League. Although the club left again in 2010, they returned the following year and are currently members of the North West Counties League Division 1 North, playing home games at Victoria Park. In regards to the playing grounds, from 1882 to 1884, Nelson FC played at the Seed Hill Cricket Ground. Through 1884 to 1885 and to 1886 to 1887, they played in the Flower Show Field off Scotland Road on the opposite side of the road to the Derby Inn. Between 1885 and 1886, the sporting area was an unknown site outside of town. In March, despite a Lancashire FA suspension, an agreement was made to return to Nelson Cricket Club. Between 1887 and 1889, they played once again at the Seed Hill Cricket Ground, now renamed as the Seed Hill Football Ground, until the 16th of March when the new enclosure was opened. Nelson are often cited as playing at the Park Ground or Parkside Ground, a move reflected in the often used contemporary reference to the club as the Parksiders. Given the location adjacent to both the park and the existing Seed Hill Cricket Ground, there are possibly alternative terms for what became Seed Hill Football Ground, or equally describe the use of local grounds. When reviewing the 1887 to 1888 season on the 21st of April 1888, the Burnley Express mentions that the club had accepted an offer from the cricketers to change ends and play on the left instead of the right-hand side of the field as previously at the start of the season. Twice in the 1890s, fresh moves away were considered as Nelson looked at a site near Kew Gardens in 1892, not the one down south, and the field behind the Golden Ball Inn 3 years later. However, the potential rental costs proved problematic for the club, who were already financially struggling with Seed Hill. At Seed Hill, the club had a small wooden stand and a small-covered enclosure behind one goal, with grass banking around the rest of the ground. In 1922, a large 2,000-capacity wooden stand was built. The club's highest attendance at the stadium was in 14,979 for the 3rd Division North match with Bradford City on the 27th of April 1929. The Burnley Express of the 1st of May 1929, commenting on the record gate at the match, which Nelson lost 1-0, stated, "There was glorious weather, prevailed, and City had one of their biggest followings. There had been little doubt that the visitors to the ground were in the majority." The gate reached £810, which is more than has been taken in the previous 6 matches. Nelson played their final home game at Seed Hill on the 28th of March 1971, when a crowd of over 1,000 gathered to witness the first Sunday fixture at the stadium. They were duly rewarded with an 8-goal thriller as Clitheroe were beaten 5-3. Seed Hill, having hosted the Nelson Admiral Speedway team between 1967 and 1969, latterly became well known for a stock car venue before its eventual demolition in the early 1980s when the M65 motorway cut through the area. How wonderful. The site of Seed Hill remains clearly visible today. Nelson moved to Victoria Park, known locally as Little Wembley, in time for their opening home fixture of the following 1971-72 Lancashire combination season. It was a time when the Nelson leader reported a good crowd attended to see them lose 1-0 to Accrington Stanley on the 28th of August 1971. Victoria Park now has a capacity of 2,000 with 1,700 standing. It is bordered by trees on two sides in surrounding parkland. Along one side there is a low-roofed wooden stand with seating in the centre section. The side opposite has the dugouts with a grass area. Behind one goal there are the clubhouse and changing rooms at the top end of the ground. In January 2009, Nelson launched an appeal, the 10k floodlight appeal, to help improve the floodlighting facilities at Victoria Park. In October 2013, the dugouts at Victoria Park were replaced and improved to meet a league ground grading requirement. And there you have it, that's the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed listening about Nelson. If you aren't, then never mind. But yeah, thank you very much for listening to this video. Please like, share, subscribe, and until the next video, please take care of yourselves and goodbye.